again, just so tight, even though there have been those wides. And yes, Karen Casey's over has started off with the wide. They've given Netherlands very, very little to work with. Been a couple of misfields in the ground fielding, but you know what? I can only think of 2 misfields. Just as we've watched through here, no drop catches. And it's been quite clinical, I think. Been very matter-of-fact and clinical as they've gone about their bowling and fielding in this opening innings. Still a long, long way to go in this match, of course. But I do think Nepal will be feeling the happier side at the moment about how it's unfolded so far.
Yeah, but equally, I think Nepal fans will know that they tend to not do things easy. So the Cardiac Kids could live up to their name yet again. And for the Dutch, okay, they won't have batted anything like as they would have hoped. But I do think they'll be looking at it and going, hold on, get us up to 220, get Viv King with a new ball in his hand, probably see Kingma ball from the nursery end because he'll bring it away from the right-handers at the top. And then we'll see Kyle Klein, who has had the most remarkable run over the last 18 months since forcing his way into the team. We'll get a couple of early wickets. We'll start to apply some pressure. Know how good Roelof van der Merwe is as well. No Arjan Dutt in the 11. To get a couple of early wickets, we'll start to apply some pressure. Know how good Roelof van der Merwe is as well. No Arjan Dutt in the 11. To get a couple of early wickets, we'll start to apply some pressure. The X factor of Paul van Meekeren to deal with. Van Meekeren will come on. Know how good Roelof van der Merwe is as well. No Arjan Dutt in the 11. To get a couple of early wickets, we'll start to apply some pressure. Van Meekeren to deal with. Van Meekeren will fastest first change as well. No Arjan Dutt in the 11. To get a couple of early wickets, we'll start to apply some pressure. To Scotland once again, fastest first change. Gets warm and sun's still away. To get a couple of early wickets, we'll start to apply some pressure.
It's getting warm today.
We've got there's a soft drink down in a bag to our left here that's out of the sun. I wonder if that is going to feel like it's in the fridge. Because my feet feel like they're in the fridge at the moment.
I've now got a blank.
Such a fantastic diving effort from Bim Sharkey. Nepal have been really good. Karen Casey, you can see just battling the wind, talking about the different deliveries that he's bowling. It's 175 for 7.
Now, we have sent a lot of shout-outs to fans of Nepal, but I want to send one out to Isaac de Bruin because he sent a message watching on from Penguin in Tasmania, supporting the Dutch lads.
Is that a place name?
Yeah, Penguin.
New Australia, I tell you.
Well, you know what my hometown is?
You're Orange, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And named after William, Prince of Orange, of course, Dutch royalty. So, you know, I've got to have a little bit of a soft spot for the Dutch lads as well.
Sampal Kami returns to the attack there, just holding the one over back of Sandeep Lamachani. I wonder, is that maybe a tactic to think that if it is 10 and 11, that he might have to bowl to Van Meekeren and Kingma might not be able to pick the leg spinner?
Well, they're in a pretty strong position, you feel, so far. So it might not be a bad option to have that up your pocket. Here you go. Here's a question that we've got too, coming in from Sanjog Bhattarai. Just saw that ball was being bowled. Little delay. Hi, Diddy. Hello, Diddy. Namaste. Namaste to you. Is that Diddy again? Here's one for you, Lenny. Is the pitch playing slow, or the batters aren't able to play the mixed variety of spin?
I don't think the pitch is playing slowly. I just think Nepal have been really effective with their bowling combinations, their accuracy. I also think that this Dutch batting lineup, with the exception of Max O'Dowd and Scott Edwards, is inconsistent. No Bastilleida, he's a big miss. Short cut away and just out of the reaches of Rohit Powdell. Bim Sharkey, though, will keep it to a single. Zachariah Cachet has a lot of potential, but got work to do with his consistency. He's good, he's brilliant. You think about that century he made down at the Cricket World Cup qualifier a couple of years back. He can also score very quickly, but he's just battling for form a little bit of late. Vikramjit Singh, he's a fine player, but he's got a horrible habit of getting very good-looking 30s and 40s and then getting out. So it's the kind of side you look at on paper and you say, well, hold on, if Max O'Dowd or Scott Edwards don't get a 60, 70 or 80, which they do so often, we can restrict this side. And there's lots of excuses for that. There's no Colin Ackerman here, there's no Bastilleida here. There are huge misses in this batting lineup. But there isn't the depth, particularly. I think it's a soft underbelly, sort of 5, 6, 7, 8. Like Kyle Klein for me is very high at 8. I think he's a fine bowler, and the talk is in the top class he's starting to get runs, and they want to expand him into becoming a full all-rounder. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's too high at 8. I don't know why he's ahead of Van der Merwe, despite Van der Merwe, being in the autumn, winter of his career. They're a brilliant side, the Dutch. They make the most of their abilities, but their batting is their weaker hand. And that's just the reality of it. I think Dutch fans will acknowledge that, and that's why, you talk about no Freddie Classen, no Bastilleida. That's why they've had to go back to the 41-year-old Wesley Baresi in terms of as the backup batter here. Boris Gorley is somebody who I would have liked to maybe be given a chance as well. There's a bit of a talk of the younger Deleida who's coming up. He's in the 19s at the moment. There's a couple other players that we referred to in that 19s. It's a very strong crop of 19s. They need to start getting some batters through. Always a good bowlers. It's the tallest nation in the world, remember, on average height. So they're never short of big, tall, fast bowlers, although ironically maybe their best one at the moment is the short in stature Kyle Klein. He's only about 5'10". 42 bowled, 179 for 7. And the other reality is this is a tough league. And that's something Scott Edwards has said to me again and again. We went and put it up to the Super League teams who got qualified for the World Cup. There's also no Logan van Beek. He's a huge miss.
Yeah.
Down with Leicestershire at the moment. I know he'll probably, if they're not playing right now, their T20 Blast game won't be on until tonight. He'll be watches every ball of the Dutch stuff. He's a huge miss. Bat ample. Him in at number 7, 8. It's a completely different look to the batting line.
But it's the reality for so many of these sides throughout this league. Because you look at Scotland facing similar things as well. It's just the nature of sometimes almost a semi-professional status of the game in associate cricket. And the depth is constantly being challenged for many of the sides at this level.
Yeah, the reality is as well, as Raj Banshee returns to the attack and is pulled away for, should be a couple, Van der Merwe. There isn't, the top class is a fantastic competition. They say it's the longest continuously running league in the world because it kept running throughout both world wars, including, the history is fascinating, a POW 11 in the First World War. I hope I've got this right. Curtis de Jong will be on to me quickly if I haven't, or his great pal Rod Lyle, who helps run the top class site, website that is. I think they won an edition of Top Class in during that First World War in the 1914 to 1918 era. But it's a great competition with great history and a lot of fans, really long-standing fans who follow the fortunes of the VRA Club or Vorburg or VOC, Kampong. They follow them, wholeheartedly. And if you think about the history of Dutch cricket, the boys who originally blazed the trail for it, big appeal this time. Is their bat involved again? I think I heard two noises once more. Might have been an underedge.
yeah, a little bit of a woody sound. But you're right, and for me, the Netherlands team, I mean, they have really blazed a trail for all of associate cricket. The way that they've been able to perform at World Cups against the full member nations consistently now. We've seen them do it more than once. That's really well played. Just pick the gap. It might be held up. Yes, it is. Good fielding. Just inside the rope. Nice bit of cricket. But the way they've done it consistently in both formats, in T20 cricket and ODI cricket, against the top member nations, they had the benefit of that cycle in the Super League, which I feel is a shame that it didn't continue. And I know that there are calls, particularly coming out of Australia, for it to be brought back.
Deep in the crease again, but that one's going to angle down, miss the leg stump. Yeah, but the reality is for Dutch cricket in the modern game, it's a pretty small community. You know, you're looking at sort of 6,000 cricketers in the country at most, and they have to make the most of their very limited resources. They have the little pro series that sits on top of the top class, but because of the focus on T20 cricket, that was played in the T20 format there over the course of the last couple of weeks. And again, that's kind of really with this pool of players and a few more. Gets us to the end of the 43rd, 184 for 7. Sampal Kami to bowl his 8th over. It's been good today. There's 2 prisoner of war 11s, top class in the 1914 to 1918 era, and POWA won it in 1918. Isn't that a great bit of history?
That is incredible.
Kept running through both wars somehow.
Wow.
Probably, imagine not in Rotterdam, given the horrific bombing there. Gorgeous country though. Lucky enough to be over there at the start of May. Is again, Dipender Singh makes the difficult look easy.
See, I've been to the Netherlands a few times, but never for cricket.
How were you not there for that Netherlands England series a few years back? What were you doing that was more important than joining the Barmy Army?
Hang on, what year was that?
Cut away behind square, races towards the rope, but Raj Banshi does enough to keep it to a couple.
Okay, I need to know what year that was. Was I stuck in the Southern Hemisphere, stuck in Australia for COVID?
No, it was, I'm pretty sure it was 2022. I'm going to be shouted at if that's wrong, but I think it was 2022. So the COVID stuff should have been long over.
Right, but it was early in the year, like early in the summer, I should say.
Mid-June.
Oh, okay. I didn't come over. So that was coming out of COVID.
Made 498.
I know.
You should have been there.
I would have loved to, but you know, someone's got to pay for the airfare and the accommodation. I'm not made of money. Just coming out of COVID, I'd gone to Pakistan for a multi-format series over in Pakistan.
Wedged away and just out of the reach of Asif Sheikh. A little bit of fortune for Croes, who's going to be critical. It's a good little fight back for the 8th wicket. Netherlands, they might still scrap up to that 230, 240 marker. With their bowling and fielding, you cannot rule them out.
Oh, absolutely. Not ruled them out at all. And I've been impressed with Croes taking on the mantle. Now, senior person in this partnership has been out there the longest.
In the source panel of West in next year you add video capture device. Check, it is not hidden.
And I know what I was doing. I was back in
Again,
Australia in between the Pakistan
Make
tour
sure
and
you
coming
read
over to England.
In the source panel.
And I arrived here just before the
It's
Test
source
series
panel,
against South Africa. 44 overs gone. Netherlands, a little bit of a fight back again here. 191 for 7.
You're just talking about other prospective batters that
Okay.
the Dutch may look at. Boris Gorley's second in the table from the HCC club in the top class of stats, striking at nearly a run a ball. He's got 325 runs. I think this might be a game out of date. But the two that kind of the well-judged pundits are talking about that might be the next two batters to come through.
Next year, video capture device here.
Theo Warburg and Johan Smile, both
Check
South
it is
African
hidden.
origin.
The eye icon should be on.
It's the reverse sweep
Make
comes
sure it
out
is
from
not
Van der Merwe.
minimize
And
your
those
screen.
incredible links that they have with South Africa do enable them to get plenty of kind of Dutch origin players, but they do it in kind of a really good way. They always insist upon the player coming up and playing in the top class and kind of committing to Dutch cricket. Almost all of those in and around the national squad. This is swept, but not a complete control. They won't take on the second. They come up and live in the Netherlands for at least 5 months. It's usually a 7-month period that they're in the country for. And a lot of the Dutch players, and even those who've kind of born and bred Dutch origin, will actually head down to South Africa. They'll use the likes of the links that Ryan Cook has with the Gary Kirsten Academy. And they'll often play, they play quite a few of the SA20 teams the year before last in some T20 matches. And they're just very sensible links to utilise, they really are. And quite a lot of the clubs, when they look for a professional for the year, they'll end up going with an Aussie, a South African, although there will be Australians and Kiwis that come up too. So yeah, certainly they're the kind of names that you're talking about from a batting perspective. In terms of the leading wicket takers in the top class of this season, Overdyke's having another good year. He's got 12 wickets. Jabber Kale from Hermes. Griffin from Villarreal. He might be the overseas player. Qatari from Hermes too. But it's almost a bit of a controversy. There's been so much Dutch cricket, international cricket that is. The players aren't getting to spend as much time with their clubs in early season. This year it's a big year in the top class because you're going to drop down from 10 teams to 8. And that means that 3 sides will be relegated. And 2 will definitely be relegated, then 1 will have a playoff against the winner of the Hoofd Classic, which is the 2nd division. So you're in a position where clubs are desperately trying to cling on. And even a side as good as VOC, with an international ground, is in a bit of early trouble, kind of down towards the table. Kampong are top, Hermes in 2nd, Sparta and VOC joint bottom at the moment, and Excelsior, the other one, looking in a bit of trouble. End of the 45th, 197 for 7.
And just approaching that 200 mark with 5 overs to go. We wondered if they'd be able to get up towards the 240s. I think that's going to still be a big ask at this point. Especially when we see Sandeep Lamachani coming back into the attack with 1 over left to bowl. He's taken a couple of wickets so far, but he's bowled well enough that he could easily take another 2. I imagine he would love nothing more than to finish off with a wicket taking over. 5 overs remaining. What can Netherlands push up to?
Good fight this for the 8th wicket. They played nicely, haven't they?
Really have.
Put on 31, make that at least 32, as Irie does brilliantly. 2 more runs saved. He's so quick, whatever the temperature here. I think many a fielder wouldn't even be able to get there, and he again makes it look easy.
Yeah, that's outstanding work.
He's superhuman, the Tiger. He's just so fast. He's like a blur out there. Great nickname as well, isn't it?
I love it, the Tiger. Ooh, one thing you talk about, those fast twitch muscles that enable you to get a really good start. And some players look like they sat back on their heels. It takes them a little while to get going, but he is so quick off the mark.
I think he's the second best fielder in the world. I think he's that good. It's going to be the 200 coming up with the Noah Croes sweep. Who wants the second? Gulshan Jazz gathered cleanly by Asif Sheikh. Surely that would have been a run-out opportunity. Asif Sheikh, it just kind of bounced on him a little bit, didn't he? It was the one-bounce throw from Gulshan Jazz. Very aggressive running. Croes could have been in trouble.
Oh, I think he would have been in real trouble. I'll try and get you a replay of that again. Yeah, it seemed to just bounce a bit, come off the end of his gloves. The 200 has been brought up for the Netherlands. Here's a look at that run out.
Can be difficult to tell from that angle. Yeah, that was the angle we were looking for. Back live with you now. Swept again into the gap. Swept for 4. Great stuff from Noah Croes. He's showing why so many think so much of him in the Dutch game. A really fighting effort. It's a good rear guard, this one. Lamachani's not going to get 3 or 4, maybe just going a bit too straight. Swept away for 4.
Well, what he's done is swept brilliantly as Croes. It's been a real strong scoring area for him. Square of the wickets, the reverses that have come out as well. He's got 2 on the leg side.
Oh, inside edge, that could have gone anywhere. It's a good over though. 8 runs have come from it, 4 remain. And the Dutch hanging about in this contest, 205 for 7.
Why do not do not?
Really good partnership, this one. I like the way they've gone about it, and all you ever get, whatever age he is, from Roelof van der Merwe is 110% commitment and wholehearted and complete effort. He's only made 13, but Noah Croes needed someone to stay with her, and Vivian Kingma after this. In a critical 39 runs. This could end up, I'm not saying being the winning margin, but it could end up giving the Dutch a real chance in this game.
Absolutely. Just at a point where it looked as though Netherlands' innings might just be drifting. Croes has just taken the bull by the horns, ensuring these last overs count. He's also been able to do something that a lot of the batters have struggled with, and that's finding a gap, even if it hasn't been a boundary. In being able to get the 2 runs, where I'm finding a lot of dot balls that might have been singles. But he's found enough of the gaps to be able to get the second run.
Flying finish, and the Dutch might still not just get to that 240, be thinking about 250. Noah Croes, he's not the kind of guy who's going to pump 6s down the ground, so he'll look to use the pace on the ball, fine leg up in the circle, but Karen Casey deals with that cleverly. Bit of breaking news for you, Mel. And some nice news from back into all of the Nepal fans. We've just seen the ICC Development Awards 2024 announced just literally today. And for the Nepal fans, they should be very proud. The Digital Fan Engagement of the Year, winner for the Asian region, is the Cricket Association Nepal. They've also got into the global shortlist for the ICC Creo Festival of the Year. This one's cut away, not a good delivery from KC. It's the longest pocket of the ground, but Irie is somehow quicker than the ball, and he cuts it off and saves a run.
Does it again. How many times can we mention the tiger prowling and playing his part as well? Well, Creo, for people who don't know, is a coaching program, like an online coaching program to train coaches. It's run by the ICC.
Yeah, a bit more than that. It's also actually kind of version of the game you can play in person. So it's both that and the sort of, so that awards for the little festivals they put on where kids and people who haven't experienced cricket before come and play. But for the 5 big awards, big congratulations to the 5 regional associates. A little bit of a soft spot for one of them in particular. Big swing and a miss. The 5 ICC Development Initiative of the Year winners, the African region, Cricket Namibia, the Americas, the Brazilian Cricket Association, are doing such great work, particularly for the women's game down there. For the Asia region, it's the Malaysia Cricket Association, seriously doing a phenomenal job. They've got hundreds of thousands of kids playing cricket there across Malaysia. For the EAP region, it's the Cricket Indonesia team. But what about the European winner?
Tell me.
Big soft spot for these guys.
Tell me.
My third home, I suppose. The Hellenic Cricket Federation of Greece. So congrats to the Greeks there. You know, Andy Wright and the ICC Europe team doing a phenomenal job spreading the game throughout the continent. As they'll pick up a couple. Dutch bench kind of coming to life. They realise how important this 8th wicket partnership is, and lots of other award winners. We won't read everyone out to you, but I'm going to give you the 5 female winners too. For Africa, Cricket Sierra Leone. Americas again, double victory for Brazil. For Asia, the Bhutan Cricket Board, beautiful country there, definitely coming up. EAP, Tim Cutler and his team down in the Vanuatu Cricket Association, congrats to them. And for Europe, it's the Cricket España team, who did you have the Spanish senior women's team there in Rome?
Certainly did. Yeah, it's been great. It was great down there in Rome seeing the advances. Back safely there on that occasion. But yeah, I love seeing all these awards and the different programs that are going on around the world. I've been lucky enough to follow some of it in Europe. 47 overs gone here. Netherlands 212 for 7, and look at that. Croes up there on 42 now. This has been an incredibly important innings from him.
Just got a notification on my phone. We see you're in Brotty Ferry. It's about to rain, and there is a big dark cloud. This wasn't really necessarily forecast. Hopefully, I think the 2 umpires will get us through these last 3 overs, but the tractor next to the right of us sees the ground staff whipping those covers together. A little bit ominous, that looks like. Sampal Kami's going to bowl his 9th. Just one more quick word, Mel, before we focus back onto the cricket on the field here as they run a couple with the list of the ICC Development Award winners. It is important we mention the 5 ICC Associate Member Men's Performances of the Year, given we're covering Cricket World Cup League 2. Listen to these 5 winners, utterly brilliant. And I'm pretty sure I'll be able to tell you what the 5 are for off the top of my head. For Uganda, they're the winners of 2024, not just winning qualification to the World Cup for the first time, but winning a first World Cup game. As we threaten to be blown away here in a wind tunnel, you can understand why we can't have those extra high cameras up today. For USA, getting to the Super 8s for the men, they're the Americas regional winner. And for the Asia region, I suspect this was for the UAE's win over New Zealand. They won a historic first ever T20I. We're in real trouble here with the weather now. Hopefully you can hear us. For the EAP region, Japan, they're doing some great things on and off the field. And then for the Europe region, it was Guernsey who I think won through into the T20 World Cup Europe final. This is more like a mild...
Oh boy.
It's almost like a mini hurricane right now. We're going to try and stay on air with you. Play is continuing for the moment. There's Sampal Kami, who is swept around the corner, coming up towards us. It's going to race to the rope. Fantastic batting from Noah Croes, who moves to within a boundary of a first ever international 50. But the wind is causing havoc, and the rain is maybe about to come down too.
Yeah, we really needed conditions to get more challenging. That's just what we needed. We're going to try and move our table back into the tent because we're starting to get some wet monitors and cables all over. So excuse us while we just try and reposition ourselves a little.
Our marquee, I thought, was about to take flight briefly.
Oh boy.
Well,
oh dear.
Come to Scotland, they said. I've been doing my kind of Nepal tourist board promotion earlier in the day. I'm not sure the Cricket Scotland or the Scottish tourist board will be saying the same to me. It's chaos out there. The wind has blown the bales off. It was very much like a little mini Scottish hurricane there, and the rain is now pretty heavy.
It is.
They're going to be hardy and try and stay on, I think, but I'll be honest, it's chaos here right now, and the rain is now piling down. The ground staff are saying, surely we have to go off here, but yeah, and so too now the umpires. This is absolute, well, it's pandemonium really, to be honest with you, Mel. The weather has turned in a heartbeat. It's classic Scotland. You can absolutely get all 4 seasons in one day. And I'll be honest with you, Mel, we're going to go off air right away. We'll leave you with the scorecard. Let's hope our camera staff can get down safely from their gantry. It is, well, rather bizarre weather. Have a look across to the far side there, Mel. You can see the 100 or so Nepal fans. There is a tent to protect them. We're going to come off air. We'll leave you with the news that after 47.3 overs, rain has stopped play, and the Netherlands in the middle of a good fight back, 219 for 7.
Hmm.